Finally, FIFA just confirmed bans for the disgraceful attitude of Argentina players. Not one, all of them involved, not just investigations, not proceedings that might lead somewhere eventually. Confirmed. Multiple Argentine players and their assistant coach are all facing suspensions from international football. And when you add up the minimum bans across every single person charged, the total number of international matches these players are going to miss is genuinely staggering. This is the most sweeping disciplinary action taken against a national team and their staff in the history of this tournament. And it covers not just the brawl after the final, not just the banner after the semi-final, but behaviour across the entire World Cup from the group stage to the final whistle. But there is some concerning bans here, I'm not going to lie, because FIFA, in their infinite wisdom, have also charged someone who was attacked. I couldn't believe at first, but it's FIFA after all. But it's not all bad news. Good news happened for everyone that wanted justice in a fair football world. Let's go through every single one charged, one by one. Starting with the one facing the most serious consequences. Leandro Paredes, we covered his case in detail already, but for anyone who missed it, here is the charge sheet. 3 counts of assault under Article 14 of FIFA's disciplinary code, plus 1 additional count of unsporting behaviour, 4 charges total. Count 1, grabbing Eric Garcia by the neck. A chokehold, confirmed by FIFA's own prosecutor. Count 2, bringing Gavi to the ground and holding him by the collar. Count 3, pushing Gavi in the face while he was already on the floor. Under FIFA's code, each assault charge carries a minimum 3-match suspension. 3 counts, 9 matches minimum. The unsporting behaviour charge adds 1 more. 10 international matches suspended and confirmed as the absolute flaw before FIFA have considered anything else. Because here's something FIFA are doing that they have never done before. Usually, when FIFA investigates a player for conduct at a tournament, they look at that tournament. What happened? Who was involved? What the footage shows. That is where it ends. Not this time. FIFA have specifically confirmed they are going back through previous World Cups to find patterns of behaviour, previous tournaments, previous incidents, previous investigations, building a complete file on Paredes specifically because his history is too long and too consistent to ignore, and the internet has been helping them. Since July 19th, social media has been absolutely flooded with old clips of Paredes, fans finding them, sharing them, sending them everywhere. Every clip that surfaces is another page in the file FIFA prosecutors are building. This has never happened before at a World Cup disciplinary investigation. FIFA going back through history to intensify a ban. And for Paredes, whose history includes the Dutch bench in 2022, the pattern of neck targeting across years of club football, and now a Boca Juniors incident this week where he kicked a dead ball at an opponent while under investigation, that file is not thin. 10 matches is the floor before 2022, before the Boca Juniors incident. Before the library of old clips, the ceiling could be significantly higher than anyone has yet suggested. 10 matches minimum confirmed. For 1 brawl, after 1 football match, that is where Paredes starts. Then we have Nahuel Molina. Molina started the entire brawl. That detail gets lost in the Paredes headlines, but it was Molina who threw the first punch. As Rodri, Spain's captain, the Golden Ball winner, the man who had just captained Spain to the World Cup, ran past him to celebrate with his teammates. Just running to celebrate, Molina punched him in the stomach. And then while Rodri stopped and turned, Molina got in his face verbally. A separate confrontation. 2 separate incidents against the same player. FIFA have charged Molina with 2 counts of assault, 1 completed, 1 attempted, and 1 count of unsporting behaviour. 3 charges total. 2 assault charges. Minimum 3 matches each. 6 matches minimum. The unsporting behaviour charge adds 1 more. 7 international matches suspended as his absolute flaw for Molina. 7 matches. For the man who started everything by punching Spain's captain in the stomach as he ran to celebrate winning the World Cup while Molina had just lost it. And Molina plays for Atletico Madrid, in the city that just spent a week celebrating Spain winning the World Cup. He has to walk into pre-season training with Spanish teammates, knowing what he did to their captain. With a FIFA investigation hanging over him, that pre-season is going to be one of the most uncomfortable situations in European football this summer. Then we have Roberto Ayala, the assistant coach. This one is different from the player charges. And in some ways, it is more damning, because Ayala is not a player. He is a coach. He is a member of the management staff. His job, his literal job description, is to manage players' emotions in high-pressure situations, to calm things down, to be the adult in the room when 22 players are running on adrenaline after a World Cup final. Instead, Ayala was filmed striking Dani Olmo after the final whistle, a player from the winning team, who had done nothing to him. FIFA have charged him with 1 count of assault, a minimum 3-match touchline ban. He cannot stand in a technical area or be present in a stadium during Argentina matches. And remember what happened when Ayala tried to deal with the aftermath. He issued an apology statement, then said in the same statement that it was more of a push than a punch, and that Olmo had provoked him verbally. And then Dani Olmo went public and said 2 words. He's lying. The man Ayala hit called him a liar publicly, on the record, and then added, "What defines us is not the mistake, but the courage to accept everything with humility, sincerity, and dignity from the man who was struck." About the man who struck him and then lied about it while pretending to apologise, 1 count of assault, 3-match touchline ban minimum, for the coach whose job was to stop exactly this from happening. But now Dani Olmo doesn't have to say anything. Consequences were finally displayed at those who don't behave. Thank you, FIFA. Then Thiago Almada, not the most talked in this brawl, got 1 count of unsporting behaviour, minimum 1-match suspension, probably a formal warning. Almada was caught on camera in the general melee, involved in the chaos, but without the specific documented acts of Paredes or Molina. His charge reflects that. 1 match, maybe a warning. He is not the headline, but he is charged, which means another Argentina player is going to miss international football because of what happened after that final whistle. Another player who will walk back into his club. He plays for Atlanta United in MLS, having been formally charged by FIFA with unsporting behaviour at a World Cup final. And now, the most shocking one, Gavi. Yes, Gavi, I need you to be ready for this one, because this is the moment where FIFA's disciplinary process reveals something that is equal parts logical and completely absurd. Gavi, Barcelona's Gavi, has been charged with unsporting behaviour, 1 count, minimum 1-match suspension. Now, let me remind you what happened to Gavi at the World Cup final. Leandro Paredes grabbed him, wrestled him to the ground, held him by the collar, pushed him in the face while he was on the floor. Gavi was the victim of 3 separate documented acts of assault by Paredes alone, and FIFA looked at all of that footage, reviewed every angle, appointed a dedicated prosecutor, examined the evidence thoroughly, and charged Gavi, the man who was attacked, the man who was grabbed, wrestled to the floor and pushed in the face. FIFA looked at him and said, "Actually, we have something for you too. 1 count of unsporting behaviour, 1 match suspended for being assaulted." The absolute optics of FIFA charging the victim of a 3-count assault with unsporting behaviour for reacting to being assaulted. 1 match. For Gavi, who was on the floor, having his face pushed. Paredes, 10 matches minimum. Confirmed. Gavi, 1 match for being the person Paredes did it to. That is FIFA. That is the organisation running world football, and somehow this is not even the most controversial decision they have made this summer. To add more to the party, there's also the AFA, Argentine Football Association, the organisation sitting above all of these players, who are being charged under not 1, not 2, but 4 separate articles of FIFA's disciplinary code for behaviour across multiple matches throughout the entire tournament, not just the final. Article 13, using a sporting event for demonstrations of a non-sporting nature. That is the Falklands banner held up after the England semi-final. Article 14, team misconduct. That is the brawl. The overall conduct of players and staff after the final whistle. Article 15, discrimination and racist abuse. That is Enzo Fernandez's racist chant video. The discriminatory gestures and chants from Argentine fans inside stadiums. The ISO speed incident. The Israeli flag waved at Egypt's coaching staff. Article 17, order and security at matches. That is the late kickoffs. The failure